Welcome back. It's 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. You may not realize, but November is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and this morning we're on your side with tips to keeping your brain healthy, something we really need to be thinking about. Dr. Jay Sordean, who's the author of Super Brain, Maximize Your Brain Health for a Better Life, joining us now live in the studio this morning. Dr. Sordean, we haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to have you back with us this morning.
Thank you. You know, Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, and B.B. King all died with Alzheimer's. And 1 in 3 Americans dies with dementia, 1 in 8 has Alzheimer's. It's really a tragedy. It's bad for the individuals who have it and their caregivers. You know, my heart goes out to each and every one of them.
We were talking a little bit here during the commercial break about Alzheimer's and stimulating our brains and such, and it's more than just something stimulating the brain, looking at something. There has to be more to it. Tell us what your thoughts are about body movement and related to brain.
Very important to move the body, just like when we're growing up. We learn to develop our brain because we start out crawling and then we stand and then we move around. So that's very important. So some of the online programs may be helpful, but if you're just sitting there eating donuts, that's going to be no good. No, there's no silver bullet that exists for Alzheimer's now. So there's 3 mistakes that everyone can avoid that are going to help them prevent Alzheimer's. And the first one I call the John Belushi.
Yes.
He was a very large man.
Yes.
And so the more fat, this is 5 pounds of fat. I'm going to let you hold that.
Oh my gosh.
So the more fat you have in the body, the smaller your brain becomes. This is not a real brain. This is a model of a brain.
Right.
But this becomes smaller with fat because there are toxins that are stored in fat, and that can damage and cause degeneration of the brain.
Wow. So watching our weight is an important thing as far as brain power goes. Okay.
The second mistake I call the Prince Charles, because on the Craig Ferguson Late Late Show, he used to make fun of Prince Charles' teeth. And so if you have inflammation or bacterial infection, that can go into the sinuses and eventually goes to the brain and causes leaky brain syndrome. Not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing. So good dental hygiene, important.
Nobody would, I don't think anyone would think about that.
People
That's
don't think
interesting
about
that you do that. And then
the third one we call the Three Stooges. Now, as you know, you used to have a comedy bookstore or something?
Yeah, a comic book store. Yeah. I love the Three Stooges.
Yeah, the Three Stooges are so funny. They would hit each other in the head with 2x4s. They get hit with bats. And these are very funny, you know, to watch. But they actually are no laughing matter. You really need to take care of these cumulative traumas as they accumulate. There are a lot of sports injuries. There's the CBT, which is very common, CTE also. These abbreviations like chronic traumatic encephalopathy. There's a movie coming out, Concussion.
Yes.
Another one that is talking about these kind of injuries. Surrounding our brain, this is a model of a brain. Surrounding our brain and spinal cord, there are 3 membranes called the meninges. Maybe you've heard of that. Meningitis, etc.
Yes.
So the meninges actually control all the blood flow and oxygen to the brain. So if you have a whiplash injury, it jerks the head back and forth. Or if you fall down, it can snap the spinal cord and this surrounding thing, and it tightens around the blood vessels, and you don't get all the blood you need to your brain.
Wow.
So actually taking care of these little injuries in a timely fashion is very important to keep blood flowing to the brain.
Some great information here. Dr. Jay Sordean, you want to pick up a copy of his books here about making ourselves a little smarter, and at the same time, we're going to be healthier, too. How about that? Dr. Sordean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after this, 14 minutes after 8 o'clock.